Okay, here at the grain truck. So those of y'all that watched the first grain truck video, I think I've only ever did one. You seen where I was talking about these plug wires, and the wires that somebody put on it were melted, and literally on this side of the engine fell apart when I took them off. Like they literally pulled in two. Um, they were barely holding on. So I got these high temperature wires. Let me back up. They're more than high temperature wires, but they're ceramic high temp ends. So this was not a cheap set of plug wires, just the short of it. But I replaced those with these. I've run the truck a little bit. Of course, I hadn't hauled anything yet or made any long runs, so I don't know if these would be affected by the heat or not. But so far, what I've pulled off, I've seen no effect, and I've had the engine up to temperature several times. But anyway, I ordered these boots off Amazon. They were kind of cheap. They're about $14-15. They're a fiberglass boot that's been treated with something. They're supposed to be good up to like 1800 degrees. So I've been putting these on, and here's one here close up. There's a little metal ring right here that you can put, I think it's a split ring, so you can open that ring up, but it just holds this on the end of the boot of the spark plug boot. So I hadn't been messing with it, I've just been sliding it up, and as you can see, there's one without it and there's one with it, and you can see I'm getting plenty of coverage and length there, I believe. So I've already done all but one on the other side. I don't know why I didn't just finish this side up, but these are the first two I started with, and I got them a little not pulled out straight here yet, but this side was not as damaged as bad as the other side because it has this little metal heat shield, and I don't know why the other side doesn't have that, and I hadn't been able to find one for it, so I don't know, but it really needed that over there. But anyway, I got a new belt on it here. It's the main belt, and it is the right belt. The belt that was on there was not even the right width, and it wasn't running in the grooves right in this pulley, and it was like slicing itself in two. While I was at it, I took the air conditioner compressor belt off because according to the guy I bought it from, air conditioner don't work, and I don't plan on dealing with it, so I just took the belt and threw it behind the seat. But to get this belt on, I had to remove this belt to the power steering pump. Now, this truck not being an air brake truck, it's hydraulic brakes, it uses the power steering pump. There's some lines that run up here to the back of the master cylinder to boost the brakes, best I can tell. But let's just say that belt right there was a pain to get off. There was a lot of bolts and a lot of removing items, and a lot of scratching my head as to what's going on here, because what looks like would make sense in a normal loosen that pivot bolt and loosen a bolt down here and just pivot that thing down, it ain't that way. There's something unique going on with this, so basically I wound up removing all the bolts and just pulling the whole thing loose and taking the belt off and then putting everything right back where it was. So I maintained the same tension and everything, but I've yet to figure out how you're really supposed to tension this pump. There's some holes in the pulley where it looks like there's some bolts in the front, and there's also bolts in the back, which I did take loose, but you can't get anything in here without removing that pulley to tighten that up. So I'm beside myself on that one, but anyway, I managed to get it off. Sad thing was, I ordered that belt. I knew I was going to take it off, and I thought, well, I'm just going to replace it. And the belt I got was not the right belt. It was actually on the website where I ordered. They've got the belt that runs with an air brake compressor, and versus a hydraulic brake truck, they've got them backwards. So the one I ordered was way too long. But I have since figured out which belt it is, and I've ordered two here because they were not very expensive. And I don't know, that belt ain't really bad. I think that belt will run a long time, so I'm guessing I'm just going to keep these as spares right now. If I get time one day, I'll tear all that back apart. But I ordered these two in hopes that one of these was supposed to be the exact same length belt, and it was supposed to be this Continental belt. Well, I get the belt, and it's a Goodyear belt in a Continental package, so I don't know. It was supposed to be a high temperature, heavy duty belt, and it still may be, but that's not what I was looking for. Then this belt was actually supposed to be not a CarQuest, but I think it was supposed to be the same brand belt as that green one there, that main belt. I forget what it is. But it came different too, so same place, 3 belts, and I don't know, I've got all kind of stuff, but I believe those are the right length now. But anyway, there's the boots over here on this side, so I'm going to finish it doing that. So I have changed oil in the truck. I've changed the air filter in the truck. I've also changed, right down in there, I don't know if you can see it, it's white. There's a fuel filter for the gas fuel filter. I figured out what filter that was. That one wasn't very straightforward, but I finally figured it out. So I've changed that out. I have pressure washed the transmission off. There was a little bit of automatic transmission fluid on the bottom of the transmission down in there, and because of that oil being around, there was a lot of dust and dirt on it. So I without pressure washing the motor, I pressure washed the transmission off a little bit and cleaned it up. And I went around and I found some loose bolts, about 3 maybe, in the pan of the transmission, and I'm suspecting that's where the very slow seepage of transmission fluid was coming from. There's a lot of, I'll say a lot, it ain't too bad. There's some oil buildup around the valve covers. I went around checking them, found several of them that wasn't even hand tight. I mean, they were like rattling loose. So I've tightened all those back up. Other than that, I've just kind of went around and checked wiring and different things, and you know, just tidied some things here and there, and I've checked the antifreeze and the power steering fluid, brake fluid. I think for the most part it's fairly ready to go. I have run the bed up and down a few times. Everything seems good and smooth with that. One time I did start it, and it went into like a high idle mode, like when you start any cold engine, and then it slowly comes down in RPM as it warms up, and it got stuck in the high RPM mode. It was about 1800 RPM. That was also at the exact same time I had changed the fuel filter out. And I had also bumped the engine a few times trying to get these holes to line up in this pulley here with these bolts on this pump, trying to figure out how to get that thing off. And I did not start it in between any of that time, so I don't know if the computer or the whatever controls the fuel injection, whatever, got a little latched up, but I shut it down, turned it back on, and it was fine. But I was sitting there watching it, and the temperature gauge started coming up, and I blipped the throttle a little bit. It would not come back below about 1800. So like I said, I finally just cut it off and started it back up, and it was fine. But I don't know what caused that. But anyway, I guess that's the update right now. If I can get some dry enough weather, I'm going to be planting beans hopefully any day now. We're right here at the end of April, so usually shoot for around the 1st of May. But we shall see. I did go check on that last 2 acres of corn I planted. And of course, it's only been in the ground a week. I didn't see any up on it. Only concern I had on it was there was some grass already at the furrows where I disturbed the dirt, tried to come up thick within a week. I sprayed that a week ago, so I may have to go in there and spray that earlier than anticipated on that little field, but that'll be okay. All I have to do is hit it with some Roundup. I can do that, no big deal. I do have a leak. So, I don't remember what all I said in the first video, but when I went and got this truck the first time, I didn't make it home with it. As a matter of fact, I didn't make it 10 minutes from where I got it. And turned out to be there was moisture in the distributor cap back there, and they put a new distributor cap on. It's been fine, but I kind of wondered what was going on there. I don't know if you can see, get my finger in here, right there at the tip of my finger is a little bit of water or coolant coming off this line right here. You can see it down there, and that's about the gist of it right now, but that distributor is right there. So I've been a little concerned there's some moisture coming out right there, and that moisture getting in the distributor cap area, but I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know, that's some kind of special little fitting, and that's like a heater hose or something right there coming off, but I'll keep an eye on that. I'm hoping that's not what caused that issue to start with, but like I said, I don't know what that is. It's a pipe that runs into a metal fitting, but there's some kind of plastic piece in the middle of that, so I don't know. I guess that's about it right now as far as an update. This video is getting kind of long, but anywho, there you go. That's what I'm up to. Thanks for watching. See ya.